Hello?
Hello?
Hello!
Oh, hello, you can hear me. Okay, sweet. Hi.
I can hear you perfectly. Hello there, anonymous viewer whose name is unknown to me. How are you doing?
Pretty good, how are you?
I'm doing great. Why the fuck do you sound like I'm gearing up to debate you?
I'm scared.
You talk to fucking millions of people more than I do. Your day going all right?
Yeah, I'm pretty good. I'm terrible at live things though, so I always get really nervous and get anxiety, so please pay no mind. Go on.
I'll keep that in mind. Yeah, I always forget that most people who do prepared content on YouTube don't actually have much experience with streaming. I guess I spent my whole goddamn, adolescence watching streamers that I got used to that as the default mode by which communities interact with content creators. All right, listen the fuck up. I don't think we got time to talk about how global warming is actually a feminist agenda. But I would like to talk to you about... Oh, yeah, to those of you who don't know, it's Shoe0nHead, much bigger YouTuber than me. Hello!
Hello, you are welcome for the clout, sir.
Yeah, thank you. Oh, it was fucking delicious. You dumped so much on me, too. I tried to catch it all in my mouth, but shit sprayed everywhere, got in the beard, shoulders, chest. I had to, scoop it up. It was great. Seriously, though, much appreciated.
Yeah, hi, I just wanted to call in.
Yeah, and I'm happy to have you
So you'd
here.
stop, begging me on Twitter?
Oh, you're right. I'm so sorry. My apologies. I overstepped my bounds, madame. I will not do it in the future, okay?
No, you did. Someone called you a shoe reply guy, and I laughed really hard.
That actually gets me. That actually gets me a little bit. Well, you know what? Stop making funny posts on Twitter, and I'll stop responding to them. Listen the fuck up,
Well,
my
you
friend.
told me that I had only 5 memes left.
Well,
I can only post 5 more memes.
You can refresh the meme counter every time you make a meme that has my name on it. The running away from Vosh, the hovering black guy, that was really good. Okay, that reset the meme counter originally. It was a. It's so funny.
Okay, so your centrist stream,
Yeah.
when you replied to my centrist video, there's only one part that I definitely disagreed with, and it was when you said my boyfriend's not a centrist.
Oh, I know.
And you looked at his channel and you were like, see, I see no centrist content. And right there was a few responses to anti-gay preachers, Crowder's global warming video. And I was just sitting there is this guy serious?
You know I'm gonna do it to you, right? I hate to step in the way of love, but I know. You know that I know that you know
Listen,
that I know.
I am with the guy. I know his politics, and I would not be dating him if he was some undercover fascie or some shit. So.
No, I believe you because I think you're an honest person. But would you concede it's possible for a person to believe they're a centrist and to publish content which they believe promotes centrist viewpoints, but to nonetheless be a tool for reactionaries and the alt-right?
I don't think if that's what he's doing, I don't think it's on purpose, but no, I don't think he's doing that.
Well, intent doesn't mean too much to me. I don't really care what's locked up in somebody's skull. I care about what, active praxis they engage in. Can you wait, as an insider tell though, when they talked about the possibility of the Notre Dame fire being like a conspiracy thing, did they know that was the exact same thing that the Nazis were saying about how Muslims are rebelling?
No, he had no idea. I feel really bad for him because he just kind of found out about it, and he was like, oh shit, we don't know what it is yet, but I think they already came to a conclusion, and he didn't know, and he was just like, why are we brushing off the fact that it might be terrorist? It might, and everyone's just like, it's not, and he was just like, he just kind of wanted to defend people who jumped to the conclusion that it could be terrorist because apparently there was a pattern of a lot of churches and stuff being destroyed.
Mm-hmm.
And he just was like, I don't think it's wrong to be skeptical. That was his defense of it. So I don't know, he didn't know, he wasn't trying to spread Islamophobia or anything like people were saying.
Right. I'm willing to bet that, but do you not concede then that many of the videos that he puts out in his channels could be interpreted in a reactionary way?
Yeah, but Vaush, you said, sir,
mm-hmm.
You were looking through his channel and you were like, I haven't seen any of these. I've only seen the videos that people have responded to. So you've only seen the bad? like the things that he might have gotten wrong and stuff like that, and you've never actually like looked at the content, and it's pretty like it's for the most part it's just like normal. It's mostly like conspiracy theories,
Yeah,
debunking bad
no,
science
I
and stuff.
agree. Like, I think that a lot of people are unfair to Armored Skeptic on the left because they tend to lump in Armored Skeptic with other quote unquote centrists, like say Sargon of Akkad. But the difference between their content is monumental. The vast majority of Armored Skeptic's content is legitimate skepticism, whereas Sargon of Akkad has from day one been a vehicle for reactionary politics. Um, am I being put in a position where I have to like watch a bunch of his videos and then come at you? Do I have to?
Yes, watch all of them right now. No, I don't know. Just like I know him and I know his content. Like I've been watching him since I had like I don't know 50,000 subscribers, and like I was just like a fan before we were friends, and I know that he's not some like right wing chud as you would say. So
All right.
I
What
don't
if
know.
what?
That was
Okay.
the biggest thing I disagreed with.
All right. That's totally fair, and I would not wish to mischaracterize anyone. However, I gotta hit you with this one. Do you think that in the context of the videos published, more could be done to ensure that they do not find purchase within a reactionary audience? I'm
Yes, I
I'm
think
pretty
that could
radical.
be done.
I'm pretty radical. I think that if anyone's putting out videos that can even be interpreted as reactionary defense, that person
Yeah,
is
but like for example, I like I'll go after like BuzzFeed and shit, like like those really like vanilla kind of, what I'm talking about. I don't even know how to describe it. It's barely even political, but like people who are right wing like that too, and I don't know if that's necessarily like catering towards them because I feel like everyone kind of laughs at stuff like that. It's just like internet commentary. Would you
right.
consider that catering to right wing people?
I guess it depends on how it's done, right? I mean, like for instance, I'm pretty fucking critical of like leftism on my channel, or leftists, I should say, conceptually, people who are whiny, ineffectual, moralizing, cancel culture. I hate these people. But whenever I criticize them, I do it in a way that it would be impossible to misinterpret as reactionary criticism, because everything that I say is addended with, and these people hold back the left. We need to do better. Plus, with all the
Well,
other
wait,
content I put out.
sorry. Like
Mhm.
I have terrible ADHD, so when I get an idea in my mind, I need to say it before I forget it, so I might be like interrupting you a few times. So
I don't
like
care. I interrupt people
um
constantly.
um fuck, see, I forgot already. No, but like yeah, that's what I do in my videos though. I'll be like, "Hey, like this isn't what being a liberal is supposed to be, guys. Like what are you doing?" Like I say that a lot in my videos, like that's not what we're supposed to believe in, blah blah blah, stuff like that. Sorry, that's terrible, terrible examples, but
No, I don't think
I
it's a
do that all the
terrible
time in my
example at all.
video.
Could I talk to you actually on one particular issue? It's not a debate or anything, but I'm interested to hear your thoughts on it.
Yes.
Free speech. Recently, you made a tweet on Tulsi Gabbard talking with, I believe it was Joe Rogan, correct? On free speech?
Yes.
Right. I think that when free speech is spoken of, it's usually used as a dog whistle by Nazis. I know that sounds terrible, but
See, that's really unfortunate though, because like recently someone was fighting with me about like right and left, like what's right wing and left wing. He's like, I'm a centrist because I believe in some left wing things like LGBT rights, but then I believe in right wing things like free speech, and that pissed me off. Like free speech isn't something that's owned by the right wing.
I agree. In fact,
And
they're antithetical to it. It's not like fascists give a fuck about free speech. I mean, every fascist society in the history of humanity has had actually a pretty disrespectful attitude towards it. The problem that I have is that fascists are really good at whining about free speech until the time comes that it's no longer useful for them. They create platforms like, say, BitChute or Gab or all of these other reactionary off-site totally free speech uncensored news, for example, on Reddit. These are always communities that purport to be pro-free speech and anti-censorship, but then they get dogpiled by reactionaries, Nazis, and fascists because these people need that protection. They would violate the TOS anywhere else. So even though we prefer free speech to them, they are the ones who weaponize it in a war to legitimize their political views.
yeah, like that's the problem with all these alternative sites is they become like terrible echo chambers because these are the people who are being like kicked off everywhere else. So it's unfortunate because Minds.com is pretty good. Gab is shit though. Like the owner of Gab, he's actually just like a shitty person. Like on Twitter, he'll post pictures of like if a trans person comes at him, like he'll post pictures of her face as like a gotcha to all of his followers, and I think that's super alienating because that's how you make your entire platform like a
Well,
big
Gab
circle
was
jerk.
designed from the ground up to be a pro-Nazi Reddit. All of the top posts over there are Nazi posts. I remember that they got a big boon during the fat people hate thing, that big brouhaha on Reddit a couple years ago, but even that timbered down, and it's mostly just Nazis now. Because that's how it is. These people are so vile they can't survive on decent social media platforms, so they have to cry free speech and move over to other ones that will tolerate their vehement beliefs. But only those people need to make the flight, so those places invariably become Nazi havens.
Yeah, but there are people who still believe in free speech that aren't just these people that like are posting terrible things. So I think
True.
free speech is good.
Yeah, well, I agree. I'm very pro free speech. I don't think the
Okay.
government. I don't think the government should be able to censor. I don't think I agree. By the way, that we shouldn't have a hate speech deferment in the United States of America. What I don't like is that a lot of people on the right very disingenuously frame this like Twitter, TOS, Reddit, YouTube demonetization shit as being evidence of free speech being like compromised when it has nothing to do with the First Amendment.
Well, there are a lot of cases where it is kind of that, where it's not just someone being like a racist or something and they're just being banned for almost no reason. Um, what do you think of that? Like when they're just, banned for really no reason. Like there are people who are banned on Twitter all the time for just kind of replying to TERFs. You know about that?
Yeah, no, yeah. TERFs are very aggressively effective at getting people banned off Twitter.
My account was only locked once, and it was because I told Blair, like, yes, Queen, slay the TERFs. And then my account was locked because some TERF went through all my tweets and found the one tweet that was, like, sort of negative, sort of violent against them.
Yeah, I mean, but that's not really a free speech issue, right? That's just the fact that when these sites get this huge, it's impossible for them to effectively moderate, and they just have to rely on, like, the volume of reports. I mean, at the end of the day, even an account that's done literally nothing wrong at all could still be banned permanently if enough people decide to gang up on them and report them.
Yeah, true. It was just, they do mass flag campaigns all the time, the TERFs. So, yeah. I just mean, like, there are definitely, I don't know. There are so many people who get banned just because it seems like just because of their opinions. So
Well, some
maybe
opinions I'm okay with
wrong.
banning people for. If people are saying that they want like a white ethno state and that the Browns and Negroes should be deported, I think that's a reasonable opinion to get banned off Twitter for.
See, I think what you're doing, like, your whole channel, I think that's more effective than just censoring and banning people, in my opinion. Like fighting against them. I don't know.
I think I don't necessarily disagree with that. There, like, here's the comparison I like to draw, which has been unfortunate, or at least very unflattering to left-leaning people. The big issue, I feel, is that in communities that are fundamentally right-leaning, like, say, for example, Pull on 4chan, you can throw leftists in there. It won't do anything. You could throw 100 lefty people in there to shitpost for as long as they want. They'll just get buried out. There's no fighting the tenacity and hatred of a Nazi. But introduce a couple of Nazis into a predominantly left-leaning community, and you have an existential threat to the safety of the people there. Leftist communities are a lot more delicate than like mass, like shitpost anonymous right-leaning communities are. So we have to rely on banning people more often than just converting people. Because if I had to argue against like every Nazi that ever disagreed with me all at once, fighting them off from every direction on a social media platform, I couldn't possibly win, you know?
Yeah, I guess I see where you're coming from. But again, like, seeing from a a chud's eyes, as you people say, they would just be like, "Oh, leftists are sensitive. That's why they're banning people." Like, what would you say
No,
if
I
that
mean,
was their
like, I
answer?
get it. I don't know. I think it's okay to be sensitive to things like genocide.
No, so do I. Don't get me wrong, but
But if
that's
they,
the argument that they would come at you with.
yeah, and it is, and it's hard to answer because I don't think there's anything wrong necessarily with, like, let's be real, okay? The average trans woman on Reddit is like weaker in an existential sense than like a Nazi. A Nazi can do more to hurt her, you know? So protecting the former from the latter indicates weakness on the part of the former, but that doesn't invalidate them. I think the main problem that I have here is the framing, because I feel like they've been very successful. People like Tim Pool and Joe Rogan and Steven Crowder have been really successful in framing this whole Twitter TOS thing as a free speech issue. So when people like Tulsi Gabbard come forward and they're like, actually, I do care about free speech, it kind of validates the fallacious suggestion that the lefty oligarchs of Twitter are violating the free speech of Nazis by banning them, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, well, the right in general, like, has a huge persecution complex. That's like what they run on.
Yeah,
That's why there's a thing called a Christian persecution complex, is because like they know that saying like we're being censored, like we're, you know, that brings the what is it called, the Streisand effect to them. They're like, oh, they're being censored. Like that's what got me into Gamergate back in the day, was because everyone's like, oh, like they were, anything about Gamergate was being banned off of like 4chan, and I was like, ooh, what's Gamergate? It must be something if it's getting censored, you know? And then I checked it out, and then
God.
mistakes were made, and then and now we're here. But so yeah, they do run on a persecution complex, and like I think the left has, you know, the victim complex, and the right has the persecution complex, and yeah.
At least when lefties say they're being persecuted, it's usually authentic. Trans people are literally getting written out of existence right now. You know, Jews are actually getting shot up at synagogues. I think they have some degree of authenticity.
Oh yeah, no. When it's like legitimate victim, I don't think that's a victim complex.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. What would you say? Because you were a reactionary of your own admission. I don't think I'm putting words in your mouth there. In the sort of post Gamergate environment, pre-Trump, post Gamergate, when it was fun but not serious yet. In your opinion, what do you think left-leaning people can do to ridicule this anti-free speech sort of smear that's been placed on us because of the bans coming out from Twitter and YouTube, which we have nothing to do with? It's not like leftists control either of these massive social media conglomerates. What do you think we can do to sort of fight back against that association while also maintaining that it's a good thing that they're banned, because fuck them?
Oof, I don't know, honestly. That's such a not a contradiction, but like you have to make it clear that you care about free speech, because you don't know how many people, like the right-leaning people that follow me, just think every leftist, every liberal hates free speech.
Do you really think
like
it's
they
that
have
authentic?
it in their mind.
They're not like lying?
I don't know, honestly.
I'm really
like,
asking because I don't know either.
I don't know. Like I'm not in their minds, so I don't know, but like it is just like, oh, liberals hate free speech. Like you'll be surprised, like every time, like, you know, people find my channel, they'll be like, finally, a liberal that likes free speech, and it's just like, what?
Yeah, I'm really pro free speech. I like, again, I don't even believe in hate speech exemptions. I don't think the government should ever crack down. I'm very pro, like, for example, like Lolicon, for example, being able to draw. I don't like the government having any authority over what people can do, or like the most minimal amount of authority possible. I'm an anarchist. But if I take a look at like what unregulated corporate power does to this country, I feel like it's pretty much 98% bad, and the 2% that's good is that corporations generally benefit financially from banning Nazis off their platform. That's like that's the smidgen of good that we get from the existence of mega conglomerates like Facebook and Twitter and YouTube. The tiny bit of good we get from that is that their TOS doesn't like Nazis as much as it doesn't like us, though we do get banned too. I got banned off Twitch. So when people like listen to right-leaning people like Tim Pool say, oh yeah, this is an example of why corporations have gone too far and we need to engage in some kind of public regulation so that the public comments can be protected, what they're doing is they're taking the one good thing about capitalism, the only thing I have to cling on to, and they're ruining it. That's the one thing. You know?
You don't like capitalism, Fosh? You don't like things and stuff? I don't understand.
Hey, listen, okay? The kind of things and stuff that I like it being produced by good, honest, hardworking Americans working in democratically controlled businesses who produce the contents of their labor at a
Oh my
fair
God,
reparation.
He's going off.
All right.
He's going off.
That's what I'm here for, okay? What?
Can I ask you a question?
My girlfriend wants to ask you a question.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Just scream it.
Okay. Hi.
Can you hear her?
Hi, Hyena. How are you?
So you can hear her?
Yes.
Wonderful. All right, Hyena, belt it.
Okay, I have to know. I don't care about your armored skeptics politics, but what I have to know is how you feel about the icon dude he uses. That's what I want to know. That's what I care about.
Oh,
do you
skeptic? Like
Yeah, the armored.
guy?
Yep. Okay, you caught that. Yep. This is important to me too. How do you feel about the animated cartoon suit with a
All right, listen.
All right.
So, okay, listen.
right.
So, he's well aware that it became just this very cringy thing. But he made it a long time ago, like 2013, when he was like just coming out of like a fucking like religious cult and being an atheist, and he saw it as like putting on the armor of God. I know, like, that sounds really cringe, but
hey, it was 2013. It was a different time.
Yeah. It was a different time. And so he just made a little character, and it's kind of unique because like all of the channels that use these avatars, they don't use it as like a character. They use it just as, themselves. But he has like a whole like he has like lore and shit with his
Yeah,
character.
I know. And yeah,
like,
he talks with it. Yeah, and he appears himself rather than just using it as a replacement. Do you like it?
Cute. No, it's cute. It's fine, but like, there was some drama in our community because he pointed out that he was one of the first people to do it, and then everyone started doing the suit thing. And
he was the original. He started that shit, and then now you've got the fucking the ANCAP one with the hockey mask shit, and you've got people drawing the kangaroo. Autism is unstoppable. Atheism is unstoppable.
Oh no. Yeah, no, I don't think atheism unstoppable is one of them, but there was like a lot of channels that had the suit avatar with a wacky head, and that was like a huge thing, and most of those channels are just gone now. But like there was this time where like after Gamergate, so many people jumped on like the anti-feminist commentary, but whatever, like it's fine to be like influenced by someone, I guess. But there was huge drama in our community about that.
I don't doubt it. All right, she was curious, and you know what? I was as well.
Yeah, thank you.
She says thank you. I don't know if you heard. Okay. Every time I do think autism is unstoppable. I read it somewhere, and it's all I have in my head. God, that guy is fucking crazy. You're what would you say if we were to have a debate in the future, and it wouldn't be like a structured fucking debate because that seems counterintuitive, but if I wanted to like pull you over to the left, what's an issue that you would have with like my politics, for example? Because I know you don't agree with me on everything.
Well, I'm not very good at politics. I just started identifying as a social democrat because I found out that I've been that the whole time, but I've been identifying as a liberal. Are they the same thing? I don't even know. But like the thing that I think I would disagree with you on the most is, I guess, just in general, like the communism, the anarchy. I don't understand it, but I don't think we could debate on it because that's it. That's like my not like I don't think communism can work or is a good thing. So I don't know. I like listen, your chat's gonna get mad at me, but I like capitalism. It has its problems. Do you think I could sell you? Do you think I could sell you on the idea of a worker co-op? The idea that a business generally speaking is a lot more productive and its employees are happier and better paid if the shares of the company are split equally amongst those who work there? Sure.
All right.
But
if I can get you to agree with that and close your eyes, listen. Just
you're not gonna turn me into a commie. You're not gonna bread pill me.
All you have to do, you close your eyes and think about the worker co-ops, and the screaming in the distance carries off into the sunset. And you open your eyes 20 years later, and once the blood is swept up, we've got it. Our socialist paradise. Worker co-ops everywhere. Okay.
All right.
All right.
I'm officially bread pilled.
I've
Thank you.
probably taken up enough of your time anyway. I appreciate you coming on. I really do.
No problem. This was fun. Sorry that I'm not very funny or cool live. But like...
Well, actually, my chat on my website has been speaking pretty affirmatively of you. I do think that you get an overwhelmingly bad rap from the left, much for the same reason that I'm getting a bad rap over the drama in my respective community, because people don't believe people can change. And I think that's a very punitive idea of human development, which I disagree with very much.
It's just kind of funny that everyone's like, oh, Shoe is like changing. She has a redemption arc, but that's not really true because I still have the same politics. I think it's just because I've been way more political lately and open about it because like I voted for Bernie in 2016. I've always been, liberal or whatever. But now since I fucked up in 2016 and I didn't pay enough attention, and I was just like, haha, Trump and Hillary are both equally bad, and Hillary is fucking bad, I hate her, but like,
yes, agreed.
Yeah, she sucks, but like, I didn't do much besides just kind of meme about the election, so now that 2020 is coming up, I'm just kind of like being way more open about my politics and being like, this is what I believe, this is why Bernie's good, this is why I also like Tulsi. I don't know how you feel about her, but
I'd like to do more
like
research.
Tulsi and Bernie.
I've drawn so much like yaoi smut of me and Bernie that I think I'm kind of emotionally attached to that presidency. But maybe Tulsi, I could do some research streams on Tulsi.
She's good. She's basically like Bernie light. Very anti-intervention. That's like her whole entire platform is like very, anti-war and whatever, but that's why I like her.
Women. The no. No. Yeah, I don't think it'd be as correct to say your politics changed as it would be to say you stopped being a useful idiot for LARPing fascist
I stopped being also like edgy. I don't know. No, I'm still edgy, but I stopped being like attack helicopter.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, because a lot of people made the attack helicopter jokes not thinking they were making fun of trans people. They thought they were making fun of some esoteric, hyper-liberal, hyper-offended, nothing means anything, radical gender crowd.
Yeah, but then the boomers took a hold of that meme. And then now it's just like whenever there's something about, trans people, it's like they're like, oh, but I can identify as attack helicopter. And they just ran with it and they completely destroyed the meme because that wasn't even what it was about.
Yeah. No, hey, listen, I remember back in like 2014 when the attack helicopter thing first became a meme, that shit was disgustingly funny. I dream of dropping sticky hot bombs of oil on brown people and I remember the full copy pasta originally. It was hysterical the first time it came out. The fucking Zoomers in my chat won't remember, but I fucking remember. Wait, am I older? How old are you? Are you 28?
27.
27. Okay, so you're older than me, yeah, by a short margin. Yeah, well, hey, I really appreciate having you on for however brief a time.
Okay, no problem. I'm happy that I got to white knight my boyfriend.
Hey, you know what? I have no reason to doubt you, okay? You know what? One day, maybe I'll prowl through his videos and I'll do a thing on it, but I'll tell you what, if I do a thing on one of his videos, I'm going to be charitable, which is a hell of a lot more than I do for most of the people I talk about.
Okay, thank you very much.
Have a wonderful day, friend.
You too, bye.
Maybe she will. Well, that was the single largest public figure I've ever spoken to. Yeah, networking, hypers.